Hello, and welcome to the Next Step workshop for students on academic probation or readmitted on probation. We understand that you are experiencing some academic difficulties, and we want to provide you with information and resources that will help you get back into good standing. As we review resources, tips, and information, we encourage you to take notes and jot down questions. Let's review the agenda. This video will cover common mistakes made by students in academic difficulty, review probation, readmitted on probation, and disqualification information, tools to help you get back on track, including the SMART goals model, and time management. We will also watch The Nature of Success, filled with inspirational quotes, and you will be asked to complete a short quiz to confirm that you completed the workshop. If you have questions or concerns, we will direct you to the Student Success Services office to make an appointment with your academic counselor. Let's jump right in and tackle some common mistakes that students in academic difficulty make. We'll cover our top 5. You may feel like you are behind and that you need to take more units than usual to catch up, but it's okay to take it slow. In your case, less units may equal a better outcome. It's better to do really well in a few classes, especially if you have other responsibilities outside of your academics that also require your attention, than take on too much and fail. If your circumstances have not changed or improved from one semester to the next, why take more units than you can handle? You want to pay close attention to the rigor or difficulty of the classes in which you are registered. Are you enrolled in classes that you know you might struggle in, or courses that you are repeating in which you did struggle? We want you to take classes that count toward your requirements, but we also want you to build your confidence and complete the semester with good grades. Each semester we find that students who are struggling are afraid to meet with us. In addition to reviewing policy, we want to know what's going well and how you are so we can provide options, resource information, referrals, and encouragement. Many students don't understand the grade substitution policy and sometimes repeat classes using limited substitution units for which they have other options. We want to review how the grade substitution policy can work for you and inform you about other resources that are available. One of the reasons that many students struggle is that they don't regularly invest the time to take advantage of the many resources available to them on campus, such as tutoring, supplemental instruction, counseling, workshops, activities, and much more. Your education at Fresno State is not just about going to class and doing homework. I encourage you to try at least one new resource this upcoming semester. Let's review probation, readmitted on probation, and disqualification information so you are able to make informed decisions and understand the results of your academic performance at Fresno State. This is a student level chart. Student level is determined by the number of units earned or completed, not the number of years in school. Units earned or completed is indicated on your unofficial transcript and your degree progress report, or DPR. As an undergraduate, to be in good standing, you must have at least a 2.0 campus and cumulative GPA, regardless of your student level. Campus GPA includes all coursework completed at Fresno State. Cumulative or total GPA includes Fresno State coursework and any transfer coursework. When you earn a campus and/or total GPA below 2.0, your academic standing is probation for the subsequent semester and every semester thereafter, unless your campus and/or total GPA increases to 2.0 or you are disqualified. You are disqualified when your GPA falls at or below the disqualification threshold, depending on your student level. Also notice that as you move from freshman to senior level, you have less room for failure in your academic performance before you are disqualified. For example, a freshman student can have a campus or cumulative GPA of 1.5 and remain on probation, whereas a sophomore, junior, or senior with a campus or cumulative GPA of 1.5 is disqualified after their probationary period. You might wonder, why is this? We'll answer that question when we discuss how else does my GPA affect me. Let's review the consequences of your academic standing. All students who are on academic probation or are readmitted on probation will have a registration hold. Complete this webinar and successfully complete the quiz to have your registration hold removed. Note that your College Advising Center may also have requirements that you need to complete. Check with your respective center and continue to monitor your Fresno State email. You must meet with your academic counselor to follow up no later than census, the 20th day of instruction. If you are currently on probation, to maintain enrollment for next semester, you must maintain or improve your GPA above the disqualification range. Note that your student level may change after this semester's grades and units earned are posted. For example, a sophomore with 50 units earned who earns 12 units this semester for a total of 62 units is considered a junior and must have a GPA above 1.84 to continue next semester. If you are considering a stop-out, meaning you plan to take this semester off and register for next semester, you must drop your courses on or before the 10th day of instruction. If you plan to stop out, see an academic counselor for more information. If you were readmitted to the university on probation, meaning you were previously disqualified and were readmitted and returned after your disqualification, you must earn a term GPA of 2.5 or higher each semester until your GPA improves to above disqualification range. Students readmitted on probation are not eligible to stop out until they are out of disqualification range. Let's review some other consequences of a low GPA. Remember that as your student level increases from freshman to senior, you have less range in your GPA to earn failing grades before you are academically disqualified and disenrolled from the university. This is because you must earn at least a 2.0 campus, cumulative, and major GPA or higher to graduate. In addition, if you want to change your major or you are ready to declare, some majors will not accept you if your GPA is below a 2.0. You might also be required to maintain a higher minimum to pursue specific majors or options within your major. Check with your major department advisor to discuss consequences that affect your major goals. You might also be asked to meet a GPA requirement for employment or scholarship eligibility. Our student organizations and Greek organizations also require student leaders to meet minimum GPA requirements. Furthermore, if you are interested in graduate school, many programs require a minimum prerequisite GPA that you must earn to be considered for graduate admissions. To be a competitive candidate in some programs, your GPA must be even higher than the minimum. To remind you to visit your academic counselor, an advising required service indicator will be placed in your student portal under important info and holds. This is different than the registration hold that will be placed in your student portal and requires you to meet with your counselor. Once you have met with your counselor, this service indicator will be removed. Remember that your College Advising Center may also have requirements that you need to fulfill. For more details about the service indicator or any of the items in your important info and holds, click on Details and you will be directed to a different screen. On the next screen, you can select the item for which you want more details, and finally, after selecting an item, a screen with instructions will appear. This is an example of a screen students will see when they select details for the Advising Service indicator. Now that we have reviewed consequences, let's review how to get back on track. You may already be taking steps or changing your daily habits to improve your academic performance this semester. Maybe you started implementing a plan before the semester started, or the circumstances that were contributing to your academic performance last semester have changed for the better. Let's review some additional tools that might also help you get back on track. One strategy that you probably use every day without knowing it is setting goals. But why do we encourage students to set goals? Implementing change, such as starting from no degree to earning a degree, is about setting short-term goals for the day, week, or month, as well as long-term goals for the semester, the year, or 5 or more years. Students who learn how to set goals and commit to those goals are typically higher achievers. Students who implement a strategic plan to achieve their goals often experience more success in their performance. Goals can help a student stay motivated. Students who set goals and are successful in meeting those goals are often the ones that are more satisfied with their work and have higher levels of self-confidence. Effective goal setting is also beneficial in creating a general can-do attitude. Let's review the SMART Goals model, an awesome tool to help you maximize your goal setting. SMART is an acronym, meaning that each letter of the word SMART refers to an important component of setting SMART goals. SMART goals are specific. Specific goals are much more likely to be accomplished than vague ones. A specific goal can be determined by asking the following questions. Who is involved? SMART goals don't depend on the involvement of too many people. Remember, the only person you can control is yourself, so the achievement of your goal should depend on you. What do you want to accomplish? Define your outcome so you will have a clear idea of what you are aiming for. A vague, I want to earn a better grade, is not specific enough. Where will you work on your goal? Identify a location or locations where most of the work towards your goal will be carried out. If your home is the main base, you may need to revamp a few things. By when do you hope to accomplish your goal? Set a time frame and specific deadline for completion. Having a specific end date will keep you from procrastinating. Which factors will affect the success of your goal? What requirements do you have and what limitations will you have to deal with? Being prepared for obstacles makes them easier to overcome. Why do you want to reach this goal? The reasons behind your choice of a goal are just as important as the goal itself. Looking at those reasons can often tell you quite a bit about yourself and your values. SMART goals are measurable. You should be able to see the progress you're making. This allows you to feel the thrill of each milestone reached and keeps you on track for completion of your goal. The way you find out if your goal is truly measurable is to ask another set of questions. For example, if your goal is to increase the amount of time you are studying or to earn better grades, you can ask yourself questions such as, how much studying do I want to do? How many A's, B's, and C's do I want to earn? How will I know when the goal is reached? Charts are a great way for you to track your progress and measure how much of your goal you have achieved. SMART goals are action-oriented. Your goals should include a course of action and tasks you must complete. Having specific goals that are measurable will help you determine what steps and actions are necessary to achieve your goal. SMART goals are realistic. They are goals that are achievable and attainable. They represent what you know you are capable of with the resources that you have available. You need to be willing to seek support to learn about available resources and take action to utilize those resources. Overreaching goals may lead to failure and discouragement. SMART goals are time-bound. You should have a time frame for completing your goals. This is part of making your goals measurable and provides another push for you to achieve your goals. Someday is not an acceptable deadline. Setting a date for the completion of your goals prepares you mentally for meeting your goals. SMART goal setting takes into account all of the guidelines above and helps you develop a state of mind and a game plan for getting things done. Let's review some examples of short and long-term goals. Short-term goals are things like pass History 11 with an A this semester, choose a major by the end of this semester, meet my EOP counselor or major advisor within 2 weeks, join a club or student organization by the end of this semester, and study at least 3 hours a day this week. Tutoring and SI count. If you're a first or second year student, long-term goals are things like earn a 3.0 total GPA by the first semester of my senior year, get into an internship related to my career by junior year, apply to graduate school in the first semester of my last year, and land a job in my career field within 6 months of graduation. Do you see how your short-term goals support your long-term goals? and may even be tied to each other. What are some of the daily and weekly habits you can develop to make sure you are taking steps to accomplish your goals? One skill that everyone, regardless of whether you are a student or a professional juggling multiple responsibilities, can improve on is time management. Time management is behavior management. For example, you may be presented with a choice to study and work on homework or go out with friends. You have the choice to tackle your concerns on your own or seek out academic advising or counseling. Ask yourself these questions. Do I find myself doing things that interfere with my schoolwork simply because I hate to say no to family and friends? Do I feel that for the most part, I am in charge of my own time? Do I believe that there is room for improvement in the way I manage my time? Do I make a list of things I have to do each day? Do I work on assignments the night before they are due? Do I regularly, daily, or weekly review my class materials even though there are no upcoming exams? Do I have a set of goals for the entire semester? If you answered yes to 1, 3, and 5, you know you are ready for change. If you answered yes to 2, 4, 6, and 7, you may be managing your time well. Is there anything else that you can do to improve your time and priority management? Next, we'll review tips for managing time, your behavior, and your priorities. Learn to say no. Communicate your academic goals to people and the commitment you are making to attending class, reading, studying, and other activities that will help you attain your academic and career goals. But don't feel you have to justify yourself. Look ahead and set goals. Take time at the beginning of the semester to set SMART goals and take a few minutes every day or sometime every week to list the daily or weekly tasks you need to complete to reach your goals. For example, if you have a paper due or an exam in 2 weeks, determine what daily tasks or daily studying you need to complete to finish your paper or earn a passing grade on your exam. For some classes, you should probably study actively every day, even if it's a half hour, regardless of your exam schedule. Get your body and mind in shape. Take care of yourself. Your wellness should be a priority. You are most productive if you are well, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You may feel the urge to push yourself beyond your limits, but you have to ask yourself, am I being the best person I can be at work, school, and at home with my family? Am I submitting quality work? Sometimes finding balance requires sacrifice. What sacrifices do you need to make to accomplish your goals? Don't put things off. This is where breaking down longer-term goals into smaller goals comes in handy, like working on your term paper a few hours each week and breaking that down further to 30 minutes a day for at least 4 days of the week. If you find yourself waiting to the last minute for assignments, evaluate the cause and write down what steps you can take to overcome challenges. Tackle the toughest part of an assignment first. We procrastinate on the toughest part of an assignment for a multitude of reasons, such as fear of failure or striving for perfection, or lack of confidence. Giving yourself a 5 or 10-minute contract by saying to yourself, okay, I am going to work on this difficult problem for 5 minutes, then assess where I am, can make the difference between getting started and waiting until the very last minute to tackle a tough task. Be flexible. Forgive yourself and start again. We know unexpected situations or distractions can detour us, so just make sure you make plans to get back on the path to your goals. One of the tools that can help you manage your time and evaluate your priorities is a daily, weekly, or monthly planner. This can also help you develop a daily routine, but also allows you to be flexible and stay on track. Besides work and classes, I encourage students to also include their weekly activities on their schedule, such as time with family or a significant other, time for rest and relaxation, physical activities, and hobbies. If you need some inspiration, here is a short video which includes some very applicable quotes. My favorite quote from the video is, "Many things will catch your eye, only a few will catch your heart. Pursue those." Remember to prioritize what is important, and don't be afraid to seek the resources you need to pursue your goals. Fresno State has many resources to address your needs, including academic resources such as tutoring and supplemental instruction in the Learning Center, and help with study strategies through SupportNet, and resources to address your physical and mental health and wellness, such as the Student Health and Counseling Center, Project Hope, the Food Security Project, and the Student Recreation Center. In addition, the Money Management Center is a great resource for financial management and literacy. These are just some of the services that can help you manage the circumstances and habits that are contributing to your academic difficulty. With the Career Development Center, your College Advising Center, and your faculty advisors, we want to help you develop a career plan and goals, provide academic advising, and create a graduation plan so that you are not only a successful student, but you can successfully pursue a career after graduation. But remember, student life is not just about going to class and doing homework. We encourage you to get involved on campus. Student involvement is one of the many resources at your disposal to find out about awesome opportunities to participate in, on, and off-campus events and activities. Come see your counselor to review the resources and options that will work for you. To schedule your appointment, call the Student Success Services front desk in Joyelle 224 at 559-278-1787. Listen to all of the options and select the one that will allow you to schedule your appointment, or visit the front desk in Joyelle 224. If you are part of the Dream Success Center, contact Gabby Encinas. If you are part of the Office of Black Student Success, contact Davion Baker. If you are part of the Renaissance Scholars Program, contact Adriana Vasquez. If you identify as American Indian or Native American, contact Angelica Robles Tren. If you are an EOP student, you have an EOP counselor, depending on the number of years you have been at Fresno State and your last name. If you are a first or second year EOP student, contact Mai, Igdalia, John, Victor, Cornia, or Judy. If you are an EOP transfer student, third year student, fourth year or more, contact Dennis, Angelica, Lupe, or Wayne. Continue checking your Fresno State email and student portal throughout the semester for updates and more important information. I hope you are taking notes. If you have questions, concerns, comments, or need clarification, don't hesitate to contact us. Again, our phone number is 559-278-1787, or stop by Joyelle 224. Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister during World War II, is quoted as saying, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." In continuing with your educational career at Fresno State, we hope you take some time to reflect back on your experience thus far and make a commitment to learning from challenges and failures. We hope to see you soon. Now that you've finished the next step video, it's time for the next step. Successfully complete the quiz to confirm that you have completed the workshop.